Hi, Chris McGuire here, and I've got another Hey Chris question. This one is, hey Chris, I have a lot of unwanted gear at home and I want to sell it. What's the best way of getting rid of it? Okay, so I've pretty much used almost every single method except for the methods I will tell you never to use. So yeah, I can give you a fair bit of advice. Basically, I will start from probably the best way to the ways that I recommend you never do. So starting off, palming it off to your friends. I'm in a lucky position where I know a lot of musicians and I'm acquaintances with a lot of them, so I sort of know what kind of gear that they're using and what they're kind of looking out for. So whenever I'm thinking of letting go of something, I'll sort of hit up friends and acquaintances that may be interested first. And just lightly sort of put out there, just get some feelers. Now if they're not interested, that's absolutely fine, I can palm it off somewhere else. But just letting them know, and it sort of makes them feel good that they're the first port of call, that they get kind of dibs on it, because they might have been eyeing it off, and then if you're sort of letting it go, they'd really appreciate that you come to them first, rather than telling some story that you sold it from some other means and they're like, oh man, I would have really liked that. Your friends are definitely the easiest, they're the easiest to deal with. They're really good on price, especially the people that I've dealt with. They wouldn't be my friends if they were difficult to deal with. So yeah, palming it off to your acquaintances and friends is really quite good. The next best thing is consignment. Some music stores will offer a consignment service. So basically what that means is you bring your item in. Generally they'll work out a price that you'll get for it, and then they'll put a fee on top of that. So they're really selling it on your behalf. This is actually really quite good because, especially with the way that we run at the Music Cavern, is that you know what you're going to be getting at the end of the day. And if we're in a position where the customer is negotiating, we'll let you know first. And I believe most stores operate in a similar sort of way to operate this. You have to check their terms and conditions and fully suss it out before you actually go through it. But it is a really good method of going through it. So the pros is that it's really just set and forget it. You just drop your instrument or your music gear off at the store and they just do it for you, and eventually when somebody buys it, then they'll pay you, usually by check, and then yeah, it's super easy. You're making sales and you don't have to be there, so that's really quite good. Some of the downsides is you might not get as much money as you potentially can if you sold it from other means, because the shop is going to have to put on their commission on top, and then you've got GST as well. So then that bumps the price of the instrument up, and if you're wanting to sell it in a relatively normal frame of time, you're not going to want something totally exorbitant where nobody's going to buy it. So you might have to reduce your fee a little bit to make sure there's a little bit of a buffer that the shop gets their cut, because they're the ones actually selling it for you. So that all things considered, that's probably one of my favourite ones as soon as my friends don't grab the gear that I'm selling. Now we start to get into some murky territory. This is probably the last of the ones that I would kind of recommend, and that would be on the internet. I probably won't name names, but not the big one that starts with E, probably the one that starts with G. That has been really quite good. To be honest, it really was quite good a couple of years ago, before Every Man and His Dog was on it. Now there's a lot of people on it, and it's not as good as what it was a couple of years ago, in my opinion. One, you're going to have to sell everything yourself, so you're going to potentially be inviting people to your home to have a look at it or test it out maybe. All that will have to either happen in your home or their home, so it might involve a little bit of travelling if you go to their home, or you might be a little sketchy on people, strange people coming to your home. So there's a myriad of things that can go wrong. One of the bonuses is that you might be able to get a little bit more out of it than you potentially could have been if you went the consignment route. But because it's on the internet, I feel a lot of people will sort of beat you down in price. So you have to sort of have a bit of a buffer and think of your bottom line before you sort of think about your price. So if you're going to sell it on the internet, that can be quite good, but just know what you're getting in for. If you're a bit sketchy of weird people coming to your home, it's probably not the method for you. If you can't really tolerate people bartering and things like that, again, probably not the best, but it can work out for you. It kind of depends on what you're selling and what price point you're sort of selling it at, and how firm you are on the price that you want to walk away with. So I wouldn't do that if you're desperate for the cash. If you're slow and steady and being patient, works with selling things on the internet. The next port of call, now this is really going into the don't do this under any circumstances, would be doing it through pawn shops and hawking it essentially. You're really not going to get that much for it. It is set and forget it. You just take it there and you get a real pittance for it. It's just the nature of the game, unfortunately. So if I can understand that you might be sort of desperate for it, but really try to do it as a last ditch effort, because you're really not going to get that much. If you do have to, don't go through one of the bigger chains, really try to go through one of the smaller ones. They're going to give you a bit more than the big chains will. Yeah, you're really wandering into some murky territory, and I've never heard anybody saying, "Oh, I'm really glad I hocked my music gear." That's not really going to happen. It's only one side really wins out of that, and it's not going to be you. So I would strongly not recommend that unless you absolutely had to. Yeah, if you have to leave that as the absolute last resort, last. I can't stress that enough. Just don't do it. Okay, so hopefully that helps. As I said, you can go into your local music store and you can talk about these sort of things. See if your local music store do offer a consignment service. You can go from that, and they can give you some advice. So hopefully all this helps. Thank you so much for your questions. As usual, if you do have any questions, you can email them through at chris@musiccavern.com.au, or simply if you're watching this on YouTube, which I'm sure you are, you can just ask your question in the comment section below, and I'll be sure to get them. Cheers, thanks.